My name is Gary. I do all the maintenance for the houses, for both women's and men's house. This house right here has been a project we've been on now for months, but it's coming together. It's looking pretty good. I came here at the end of my last runner. I was a bit more fortunate than a lot of guys that come in here. I already knew, coming in that if I was to just come in here and jump in with both feet and get involved, that was the quickest way out of the sick state of thinking and emotional sickness that I had at the time, and which would allow me the ability and the time to focus on what was most important at that time, and that was getting well myself. I had been dry for about a month and a half, and just insane because of the fact that, I couldn't hang out with the people that I was hanging out with anymore because I didn't want to get loaded anymore. But yet I didn't want to go back to, the rooms. I'll just say, because we don't want to mention anything, because of all of the 12-step programs. I didn't want to go back to that again. My ego wouldn't allow it, or whatever you want to call it. I can't really explain that. For whatever reason, I was not able to do that on my own, and I kept wandering around making deals with God. Hey, look, I don't want to go back to AA, and then finally I give in and say, okay, look, we'll go back, because I was just all alone, and so I went back, and then I'm making deal, and then I would leave the meetings and I'd go back to my hotel room, all by myself again, and I'm alone with a crazy person, and it was just miserable. So I'm making deals with God again. Look, okay, God, we'll go back to AA, but we're not going to go back to sober living. We can do this on our own, type of thing. And so finally, when I threw my hands in the air and said, okay, I'll do whatever, God helped me immediately. He led me to a place where there was a man I hadn't seen in over a year, and he told me, he says, yeah, I just started managing this brand new house, and I'm like, don't tell me, and you've got a bed open, and it just so happened that just that day a guy was asked to leave one bed, and so at that point you really can't argue with what's going on, and I just, at that moment right there, I just surrendered everything, and I just accepted the fact that this is what God wanted me to do. This is where God wanted me to go, and I came here, and and I got involved immediately, and this is where we've come to today. Well, what happens here is that we provide a safe environment, and what I mean by that is it's drug and alcohol free. It's violence free. There'll be a zero tolerance for threatening behavior of any sort. And we have a lot of gentlemen that come and that do 12-step work at this house, and at the women's house as well. And we afford them every opportunity to recover, as best we can. The house here offers, all the amenities of any place you would live at, plus, some extra things like some food and laundry facility, laundry detergent, all that stuff. Whereas, a lot of other facilities, it's a dog eat dog type of thing. You're responsible for your own way of eating, and a lot of people end up going hungry in these places, and we make sure that people get fed, and anything else we might be able to help with. It's been a challenge. can tell you that it's been a challenge, but it's working. Well, what happens here is that we provide a safe environment, and what I mean by that is it's drug and alcohol free, it's violence free. There'll be a zero tolerance for threatening behavior of any sort, and we have a lot of